Welcome to the StockMentor.com studios here in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock mentor, Brian Johnson, and I'm making professional trading simple. And here we are Sunday. We've got a new look on the markets and a fresh new set of ideas to look at in stocks for the upcoming week. Hope you guys enjoy them. A couple new things that will be happening this week are I'm looking at putting this video and maybe Monday night's video on YouTube, throwing it out there, seeing if I can get a little bit more viewership to the site. Things are moving along very well, and I think it's time to start expanding a little bit. And for those of you that might be involved with other trading websites like Google or Yahoo, some of those things, if you'd if you feel so the need, I'd appreciate it. Maybe just stick my link out there. That would be great on Google or Yahoo. That would help me out quite a bit. Would appreciate that. And outside of that, I know that I'm going to have to keep my YouTube videos to like 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to do like half the video and then tell them if they want the other half, they have to come here to see it because I can't fit everything I need to do in 10 minutes. I'd like to be able to shorten them, and if I only did the indices like most other sites do, where they only cover the SPX and they're only talking a little bit about the NASDAQ or whatever, that'd be great. I can get everything I need into 10 minutes, but I just can't when I'm actually giving you specific plays on different stocks as well. So hopefully that'll work out. That was my biggest thing with the YouTube was I didn't know how I'd keep it to 10 minutes, but then I thought I don't have to keep it to 10 minutes. Who cares? I'll do 10 minutes, and if they want to see more, then they come to the site, and if they don't, they're done. At least they'll get the broad market indexes by then. So we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. Hopefully we get some interest there. I also have on Twitter, I'm always getting buzzes about new people following me, and I just got a new one today that I had to mention I thought was funny. And it appears that as of today, Bernie Madoff is following me on Twitter. So, Bernie, if you're listening to this, man, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Love that name. Too funny. Uh, all right. So anyway, those two things. We're going to look at some new stocks. I want to also mention that last week, if you were part of the subscribers forum, you were also told about ARO and you were told about SLB for plays last week. My subscribers, in addition to the daily video, of course, my subscribers get a bunch of new plays. This week, I think it's a total of 13 different from the daily viewers. I think there's 13 different plays. So I think there's 7 new for this week and 6 that we've been following for a while that I haven't given out to anyone yet. So there's like 13 different plays from what you see here, and it works the same way. It's a video newsletter. You just watch the video, take notes, support and resistance, gives you a whole bunch of new plays, and you also get a little bit more in-depth commentary from me. I cover things in a little bit greater detail for my subscribers. Along with that, I also send out the occasional intraday email that helps you stay abreast on, okay, now the market's hit this, where's it going now? And then you know right away. Sometimes I give that in the video that night, but if you're a subscriber, you get it most of the time right away before the market's closed, so you know what to do with your positions. I also pop out new things that might be coming on the radar that I noticed that I think you need to be aware of. All for a whopping 15 bucks a month. It's so expensive. I think I'm probably one of the cheapest newsletters out there, and I try to give the most value-added service I can for my subscribers. Eventually, I think I will up the price to maybe 20 bucks a month, but for those that are already paying for it at 15, you're grandfathered in. You'll never pay any more than that. I would never do that to you. I appreciate you subscribing up and signing up early, as you have. So I really appreciate that. I'll never raise that on you. So anyway, here we go. Let's get started. We saw a huge run in the markets last week and a nice breakout above this little trend line we were watching and above this high that we were looking at here. If we bring this into an SPX, we can see that that breakout happened all over the place. This 1018 mark was one that we were really watching to see if it would break to new highs, and obviously we've seen that now. Back here, I told my subscribers during the day on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, maybe it was Tuesday or Wednesday anyway. I told them to watch for 980 to hold as, or to 980 to work as support. I thought maybe we'd get to the 975 area down here. We never made this area, but 980 I told them was support, and then I told them a break above 990 to 992, which we got, and then 1000, and then 1007, and then once again 1018. So they knew all the way up where to look for potential places of support and resistance, and I gave themselves ideas of where to take profits if they were long. But now we're up and above this, so where do we go next? Hard to really know. If you take a quick look at the daily, though, my guess, now that we've broken out and above this little triangle, is probably up to this level here. I'm going to say somewhere between 1035 and 1050. That's going to be my guess. I've got, and then above that, I mean, it could go 1100, 1150, 1200. I'm not going to look at those places yet. That's a little bit premature, I believe, to start looking at those areas for me right now. However, those would be my next levels. Look at about 1035 to the, or maybe 1032 to 1035, and then after that, I'd say 1044 to 1050 area. For the next areas of resistance, you might want to mark those. That put us up into this area up here. If we look at a weekly, you can also see where that's 1050 puts us at about a 50% retrace of this last big wave that we had. So we will be watching those areas next now that we've broken up and over. And this pattern on the weekly looks just fine. I mean, there's no divergences in the MACD. It all looks just fine right now. We've broken the new highs. So we will keep our eye on that over the next week. The VIX is what I'm paying most attention to as well, and I've really been watching this close the last few weeks, and we've seen no movement except staying below this trend line. Right now, we are sitting on it if you go to a 60-minute, but I could probably, or on a daily, sorry. But if I go to a weekly, you can see that we're really below it. This is a little bit cleaner trend line that I really like, and we are still below it. I'm looking for a push up and above this area here, and it needs to hold for longer than, a week, even a few days. And on the daily, it looks like maybe it has, but on the weekly, I'm still not sure. So it needs to prove something to me. We came all the way up and it pulled it all the way back. So the fear in the market just isn't there yet. It's not quite there yet. Maybe some of this was caused, and I'm sure it was, by Options X last week. Options expiration will cause this to spike sometimes, but look how it came right back down into what would be considered normal levels at this point. Now we are getting the potential for a MACD crossover. We will be watching it, but that has not crossed over yet on either the histogram or the MACD. So for me, there's nothing there indicating that the VIX is going up, which means fear is still out of the markets for the time being, which can lead to higher prices. Here's one of the new stocks we're looking at, and that's ABT. Let me show you what I really like about this. It's pulled up, came up above this support, pulling back into that same support, or sorry, broke this resistance, coming back now, acting as support. It's got the 20-day coming up below it, but let's look at the daily. You can see how pretty this looks. And it has now broken out over the top of this trend line here, which coincide with this one here, which made a decent or a falling wedge, which I love. We've broken up above the primary resistance and secondary resistance. We're sitting right on top with the 50 below. So if the markets continue to move up, I would watch ABT to the long side, especially up and over this $46 mark. I think that would be a very good defensible long play in ABT to at least the 200 up here at 47.55.